Under the open sky, Jacob presents a vibrant, colorful coat. Joseph's face radiates pure joy as he accepts the gift. The brothers watch, their expressions a dark tableau of envy and resentment. Jacob smiles, a proud father witnessing a cherished moment. Joseph clutches the coat, its colors mirroring the joy in his heart. The brothers' resentment simmers, casting a shadow over the joyous scene. Flickering candlelight illuminates Jacob's tent, casting dancing shadows across the canvas walls. Young Joseph, eyes wide with wonder and apprehension, sits among his family. Joseph recounts his dream, his voice filled with nervous anticipation. "I dreamed we were binding sheaves of grain in the field, and my sheaf arose and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it." The brothers scoff, their faces a mixture of disbelief and scorn. The flickering candlelight reflects in Joseph's wide, earnest eyes as he awaits their reaction. Under the vast sky, Joseph's brothers dot the open field, their small figures hinting at the turmoil brewing within. They tend the flock, but their movements are fraught with tension, each step measured with unspoken resentment. Heads huddle close as angry whispers rise, their voices a low, seething chorus of discontent. Their faces contort with envy, twisted by the bitter sting of Joseph's dreams and their father's favoritism. The open field becomes a stage for their dark plotting, the vastness of the landscape amplifying their treacherous intent. Resentment hangs heavy in the air, a palpable cloud of animosity that threatens to engulf the unsuspecting Joseph. In a brutal act of betrayal, Joseph's brothers strip him of his vibrant, colorful coat, their faces betraying cold disdain. They shove Joseph roughly towards the gaping pit, his eyes widening in terror as he loses his footing. Joseph tumbles into the abyss, swallowed by darkness. Reuben watches the unfolding horror, his brow furrowed with inner conflict, a clandestine plan forming in his mind. He lingers behind, plotting a secret rescue. The pit looms, a silent witness to the brothers' treachery and Reuben's brewing resolve. Under the relentless sun, a caravan of Ishmaelite traders winds its way toward Egypt, each step stirring up clouds of dust. Nearby, the brothers stand, their expressions a mask of dark resolve as they prepare to trade Joseph. With heavy hearts, they hand Joseph over to the traders, their betrayal sealed with the exchange of payment. In a callous act of deceit, one brother dips Joseph's coat into goat's blood, staining it a gruesome red. In Jacob's tent, the brothers stand with grim expressions, presenting the bloodied coat that shatters their father's world. Jacob's eyes widen in disbelief, the weight of the garment heavy in his trembling hands. A wave of grief engulfs Jacob, his body overwhelmed with the crushing realization of his loss. Jacob collapses to his knees, consumed by the certainty that Joseph has been brutally killed. Joseph arrives in Egypt, his journey ending in the bustling marketplace. The weight of his fate settles as Joseph is sold to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. In Potiphar's grand house, Joseph steps across the threshold. His new life as a servant begins. Joseph starts his duties, quietly learning the rhythms of his servitude. Amidst the foreign splendor, Joseph adapts, his presence becoming a part of Potiphar's household. In Potiphar's grand house, sunlight spills across the luxurious interiors, illuminating the promise of a new day. Joseph, young and full of purpose, moves through the house, ensuring the household's smooth operation. Joseph's diligence is evident in his every action, his focus unwavering as he manages the affairs of the estate. Potiphar watches Joseph with a gaze filled with growing trust and admiration, a silent acknowledgement of Joseph's invaluable service. The house thrives under Joseph's capable management, each corner reflecting order and prosperity. As the day progresses, the bond between Potiphar and Joseph deepens, built on mutual respect and shared success. Sunlight illuminates the opulent room, where Potiphar's wife attempts to seduce Joseph. Joseph stands firm, his face a mask of resolve as he rejects her advances. He turns away, his back to her, a clear rejection hanging in the air. Enraged, Potiphar's wife tears at her clothing, a false cry of distress filling the room. The heavy wooden door clangs shut, sealing Joseph within the formidable Egyptian prison. Dust motes dance in the sunlight, illuminating the rough-hewn stone walls that bear witness to countless stories of despair. Joseph is surrounded by the despair of his fellow prisoners, faces etched with hardship and resignation. Amidst the harsh conditions, Joseph's eyes remain a beacon of integrity and unwavering faith. Even in the depths of the prison, Joseph's spirit endures, holding a spark of hope and resilience. Sunlight pierces the stone walls, illuminating Joseph as he sits serenely amidst the gloom. The cupbearer shares, "I had the strangest dream, Joseph. I do not know what it means." The baker adds, "I as well. It troubles me greatly." Joseph listens intently, offering, "Tell me your dreams. God will give me the interpretation." Joseph reveals the grim truth. "Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift off your head, and the birds will eat away your flesh." Within the opulent palace, Pharaoh sits heavily on his throne, a storm of worry clouding his face. He rubs his temples, a futile attempt to banish the haunting echoes of a recurring dream. Observing from the shadows, the cupbearer steps forward, a flicker of recognition sparking in his eyes. The cupbearer speaks, his words carefully chosen. "Your Majesty, forgive my interruption, but your disquiet reminds me of a Hebrew man, Joseph, who once interpreted dreams with remarkable accuracy while imprisoned. Perhaps he could shed light on your troubling visions." Within the opulent hall of Pharaoh's palace, Joseph stands, awaiting the moment. Sunlight bathes the hall in a divine glow, illuminating the grandeur of the palace. With unwavering faith, Joseph proclaims, "It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer." Joseph stands tall, his words echoing through the hall. Sunlight floods the Pharaoh's palace, its rays dancing across opulent decorations. Joseph stands before Pharaoh, his expression earnest as he begins to interpret the dream. The 7 healthy cows and the 7 full heads of grain represent 7 years of great abundance throughout the land of Egypt. Pharaoh listens intently, a mixture of curiosity and concern etched upon his face. Joseph continues solemnly. "But the 7 thin cows and the 7 withered heads of grain represent 7 years of severe famine that will follow." In the radiant splendor of the Pharaoh's palace, Pharaoh sits on his majestic throne, a figure of absolute power and authority. Sunlight bathes the scene as Joseph speaks, his words weaving a tapestry of wisdom and foresight. Pharaoh listens intently, his expression softening with each word, as if a great weight is being lifted from his shoulders. Recognizing Joseph's divine gift, Pharaoh decides to appoint him governor of Egypt. With a benevolent smile, Pharaoh gestures towards Joseph, entrusting him with the future of the kingdom. "I appoint you governor of all Egypt. Prepare the land for the coming famine," Pharaoh declares, his voice resonating with power and resolve. Amidst the vibrant chaos of the Egyptian market, Joseph commands attention with his towering presence. His sharp eyes monitor the careful stacking of grain, a golden hoard symbolizing the land's prosperity. Sacks overflow, a visual testament to the land's abundance. The market pulses with controlled energy as workers move with precision under Joseph's watchful eye. Under the relentless sun, a multitude of figures trudges across the arid land, their eyes set towards a distant horizon. Each step is a testament to their desperation as they seek refuge and sustenance in the promise of Egypt. Their tattered clothes and hunger-stricken faces tell tales of survival against the odds, drawn by whispers of Joseph's generosity. In the heart of famine, they journey towards Egypt, clinging to Joseph as their beacon of hope and salvation. Under the relentless Egyptian sun, a sweeping landscape unfolds, its harsh beauty indifferent to the weary travelers approaching the border. Dust-caked and burdened by their journey, Joseph's brothers pause, their faces reflecting a mixture of apprehension and exhaustion as they survey the unfamiliar terrain. Unbeknownst to them, the brother they scorn now reigns over this land, his presence a looming shadow over their fate. Their arrival marks the convergence of past betrayal and unforeseen destiny, as the echoes of their actions reverberate in the golden sands. Joseph sits at his desk, scrolls unfurled, a fortress of authority. His brothers enter, their steps hesitant, their eyes filled with trepidation. A flicker of recognition crosses Joseph's face, quickly concealed beneath a mask of cold command. Joseph's voice booms, accusing, "You are spies! You have come to see the weakness of the land!" In his grand office, Joseph, a figure of imposing authority in Egyptian attire, observes his brothers with a stern gaze. His brothers stand nervously before him, sensing the weight of his scrutiny. Joseph directs a piercing gaze at his brothers, probing into their family affairs with unwavering intensity. His demand echoes through the room. They must bring Benjamin to Egypt, a non-negotiable condition for future trade. The brothers exchange apprehensive glances, understanding the gravity of Joseph's decree. Under the relentless sun, the brothers' weary feet pound the dusty road back to Canaan. The landscape unfolds before them, browns and greens weaving a path home. Relief and apprehension cloud their faces as they arrive at Jacob's camp. The narrator sets the stage. The brothers return to Canaan and tell Jacob about their encounter with the governor of Egypt. Inside the tent, Jacob sits heavily, his face a canvas of worry. Benjamin stands before him, a spark of hope flickering in his eyes. Jacob's aging hands tremble, a visible sign of his inner turmoil. He reaches out, his touch hesitant, yet filled with love. Jacob clasps Benjamin's shoulder, a poignant gesture of blessing and protection. Under the relentless sun, dust devils swirl across the arid road to Egypt, painting a scene of desolation. The brothers, weathered and worn, tread wearily along the path, their faces mirroring the desperation of their plight. Benjamin walks among them, his youthful face etched with apprehension, a stark reminder of their collective burden. The famine's cruel hand has sculpted their gaunt appearances and tattered clothes, each thread a testament to their fading hope. Each step is a struggle, their bodies weakened, their spirits tested by the endless expanse of desert. Their eyes search the horizon, a glimmer of hope flickering amidst the harsh reality of their journey. Joseph's gaze is fixed on Benjamin, his heart overflowing with a torrent of emotions. He struggles to contain the tears that threaten to spill, a poignant battle against overwhelming emotion. As Joseph composes himself, a plan begins to formulate in his mind, marked by a subtle gesture to his loyal servants. Joseph arranges a lavish feast, a grand gesture to welcome his brothers. The banquet hall buzzes with warmth and the rich sense of a feast, as Joseph surveys his assembled brothers. A subtle gesture reveals Joseph's favor as he offers Benjamin the most exquisite delicacies. With attentive grace, Joseph refills Benjamin's goblet with the finest wine. Confusion sparks among the other brothers, their glances betraying a brewing suspicion. The brothers exchange furtive looks, questioning Joseph's intentions. In his home, Joseph gestures firmly, his face set with resolve. A flicker of dread crosses the steward's face. The steward carefully takes Joseph's silver cup, its carvings catching the light. He stealthily slips the cup into Benjamin's sack. Dust devils dance around the brothers' feet as they come to an abrupt halt, their expressions betraying their shock. Guards encircle them, their gazes sharp with suspicion, tightening the noose of dread. The air crackles with tension as the cup is produced from Benjamin's sack, a damning revelation. Hope ebbs from the brothers with each step back towards Joseph, their fate sealed by betrayal. In Joseph's office, Judah stands, his face a canvas of desperation. He pleads, his hands outstretched in a gesture of utter supplication. Judah's voice cracks with emotion. "I beg you, my lord, let me remain here as your slave in place of the boy." He makes his final plea, his voice trembling. Let Benjamin return with his brothers. Joseph sits at his desk, the turmoil within him evident in his dark, stormy eyes. The weight of his secrets becomes unbearable, crushing Joseph under its heavy burden. Driven to his limit, Joseph rises, his voice trembling with a potent mix of anger and resolve. He can no longer maintain the facade, the pretense shattering around him. With raw emotion, Joseph declares, "I can't do this anymore. I can't pretend." Sunlight bathes Joseph's grand office, illuminating his commanding presence. His brothers stand before him, a tableau of fear and guilt. Joseph's voice resonates with calm authority, a beacon of reassurance. "Do not be distressed or angry with yourselves because you sold me here," Joseph declares, his tone measured and forgiving. "For God sent me before you to preserve life," Joseph adds, his words echoing with divine purpose. Joseph watches his brothers depart, his expression a blend of longing and command. The road to Canaan stretches endlessly before them, a dusty ribbon winding toward the distant hills. Under the scorching sun, their figures begin their journey, shadows lengthening with each step. With each stride, their forms diminish against the vast, sun-drenched landscape. The endless road calls them home, The sun beats down relentlessly, the landscape vast and unforgiving. Sunlight floods Jacob's tent as his sons share an incredible tale, their faces a mix of relief and wonder. Joseph is alive! He is the governor of all Egypt. Jacob listens, his aged hands trembling, the grief of years beginning to fade. Overjoyed, Jacob whispers, "My son, Joseph is alive?" Under the relentless sun, Jacob leads his family on the arduous journey to Egypt, their faces reflecting both hope and exhaustion. Dust rises from the parched earth as the family trudges onward, their determination unwavering despite the oppressive heat. Camels, burdened with precious belongings, follow faithfully, their bells jingling a gentle rhythm in the vast emptiness. Each step is a testament to their resilience as they push through the weariness, driven by the promise of a new beginning in Egypt. The road stretches endlessly before them, but their spirits remain unbroken, fueled by the hope of a better future. In Goshen, Joseph and Jacob stand face to face, the years of separation dissolving in the air. An embrace begins, a physical reunion that speaks of shared history. They meet in a tight embrace, their bodies pressed together, a symbol of reconciliation. Tears stream freely down their faces, each drop a testament to years of longing and unspoken words. The air around them crackles with the weight of shared history, a palpable energy of reunion. In this moment, Goshen becomes a sanctuary, a place where past wounds begin to heal. In the Egyptian countryside, Jacob and his family arrive, their camels, sheep, and donkeys laden with possessions. Children erupt in joyous chaos, their laughter echoing as they explore their new surroundings. The animals mill about, their soft bleating and braying filling the air as they adjust to their new home. Jacob watches over his family, his heart filled with hope as they settle into the land of Goshen. The sun shines warmly on the scene, casting long shadows as a new chapter begins for Jacob and his family. Joseph guides Jacob and his brothers into the Pharaoh's palace, where sunlight floods the opulent hall. The grand hall of the Pharaoh's palace is revealed, bathed in sunlight streaming through high windows. Pharaoh observes the newcomers from his throne, his expression a mix of regal curiosity and anticipation. The group advances further into the hall, their figures dwarfed by the palace's grandeur. In the dimly lit room, the sunlight barely penetrates, casting long shadows that seem to deepen the anxiety etched on the faces of Joseph's brothers. Each furtive glance shared among them speaks volumes. Burdened with unspoken guilt, the weight of their past deeds hangs heavy, a palpable presence suffocating the room. Their unease is a tangible thing, a silent acknowledgement of the consequences that loom. The air is thick with unspoken fears, each brother haunted by the shadows of their actions. Joseph stands, a figure of strength and resolve, dominating the space with his commanding presence. His gaze sweeps over his brothers, a complex tapestry of understanding and authority etched upon his face. A moment of tense silence hangs heavy in the air, broken only by the weight of unspoken words. Joseph speaks, his voice resonating with controlled power. "Do not be afraid, for am I in the place of God?" The weight of his question lingers, challenging the very foundation of their fears. His brothers stand frozen, their expressions a mixture of guilt and trepidation as they face their past. Sunlight bathes Joseph's house, casting a reverent glow upon the faces of those gathered. A heavy silence fills the room, each person lost in solemn reflection. Joseph breaks the silence, his voice resonating with forgiveness. "As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive, as they are today." Years later, under the Egyptian sun, Joseph governs, his gaze sweeping over the fertile lands. He observes the land, now abundant, a testament to his years of careful planning. His family thrives under his watchful eye, their prosperity mirroring that of Egypt. The golden sun bathes the countryside, reflecting the success of Joseph's leadership. A landscape of peace and plenty unfolds, a legacy of Joseph's vision. Under the relentless Egyptian sun, ancient pyramids loom, timeless and majestic. The narrator begins. And so, the story of Joseph, from the pit to the palace, reminds us of God's faithfulness, forgiveness, and the power to turn evil into good. The sun beats down, casting long shadows across the sands, as the story echoes through the ages.